If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and so many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started and have fun.
I'm so excited and I just can't fight it. I'm about to puff, pass, and I like it.
Welcome to the podcast. This week, I sit down with paranormal investigator Bryan J. Laverty. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Bryan.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How's everything?
Everything's great.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming. So Bryan J. Laverty, paranormal investigator, actor. What encounter got you interested in the paranormal, Bryan?
You kind of just paused there. I thought you were going to say more.
I was giving you dramatic effect.
Is that what you call that? Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's good. I like it. It's okay. So what got me into paranormal investigations? Well, I guess it started when I was a kid. I could definitely see things other kids couldn't see. And it seemed to be happening to me a lot. And I had my very first experience of being touched by a spirit when I was about 15 years old. And then it just got me, I guess that's when I really got hooked, when that experience happened. And I've had a real deep passion for the paranormal, and because of my sensitivity abilities. And I just had a real passion for it. And I guess about 9 years ago, I went on to my very first investigation with a local group, and I was hooked.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, huntophobia, do tell.
Do tell what?
Like, tell us more with the Parapost Network. Like, tell me about it. Tell everybody about it.
Well, let me start off with huntophobia first. I do, when I started the huntophobia name, that was, I guess it was about last April. So about a year ago, when COVID was really starting to hit, and I decided that I was going to do my own investigations and film my own investigations and put them up on YouTube and see if people like them. And I got some pretty good reception, and people like the videos. And but right now, what I'm basically doing is I'm mainly putting clips up on my YouTube from past investigations. I've kind of gotten into that area because huntophobia is on a streaming service called Paraflix, and they're a lot like Netflix, but for the paranormal. And that's where my full length videos go up. So that's where huntophobia is right now, growing on Paraflix, and still putting the clips on YouTube and all the other social media platforms. But my main thing is Paraflix.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you say a social media platform, so that's basically what Parapost is. It's a social media platform for people who are interested in the paranormal and more.
Yeah. So about I guess back in February, I have a really good friend who's a paranormal investigator as well. His name is Mike, and I always thought about doing something along this lines. So I just called up my buddy and I said, "Listen, I'm thinking about starting a social media site for the paranormal." And he goes, really? And I go, yeah. And he goes, I said to him, the reason I'm calling you is do you want to come in on this? And maybe we can do this together. And uh, he didn't have to think about it. He told me right away, yes. And that's when the ball started rolling. And so we found this site where we could use basically a template and um, and then put it out on the internet to see what kind of buzz we get. And we wanted to, it was almost like a trial run to see if people were going to enjoy it. And a lot of people were. So unfortunately, the first site we had, I'll be honest, was crap. It was crap. And we couldn't do anything with it. Mike, my partner, he's a tech guy. So he knows all the background, and he takes care of the background at the back end of the site. So to make sure it's running properly. So we were having a lot of problems with this other company. And, I just said, to Mike, I said, what, we got to get rid of the site and start a brand new site. So we still had people joining the old site. So I hired a developer and he created a whole new site for us. And we launched it in, I want to say, late April, early June, and it's been doing extremely well. And so basically what it is, like you said earlier, it's a social media site for the paranormal and everything under the umbrella, like supernatural, cryptics, all UFOs, all those things. If you're in that field and you want to join our site, you can. But we also encourage enthusiasts, people that enjoy that stuff. So they can come to the site and learn about other investigators or, other fields. And if they like that, then, hopefully they'll share it out and let other people know about the site.
Yeah, everybody's really nice on it too. Like, I've only been on it for like a week or so, and I've already received a couple like people reaching out, just like I can't speak. Sorry, Bryan.
That's okay.
Accepting me into their community.
Yes. And that's what it's about. And it's funny because somebody put a message out on Parapost yesterday, and I thought it was really, really good. A good message, and it was a great post. And basically, a new person joined the site, and she said she was really happy to find a site like this. And the guy responded by saying, what's great about this site? There's no drama, there's no spam bots, and there's no other crap going on. It's just the people in the community. And the great thing about our site is you don't have to friend somebody to see their stuff. It's an open community, and everybody can see everybody's work.
Super awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you think the most haunted place you've ever been to is thus far?
Oh, that's a loaded question. That's a hard question to answer. There's been a couple of crazy spots, and spots that I wouldn't necessarily go back to, but I don't know if there's a scariest spot, but there's one spot where I've had a crap load of activity, and every time I go there, I'm always catching 2 or 3 EVPs, other things on the camera, and Spirit Box, the SB7. Everything. But it's great. I've been there by myself once, which I will never ever do again.
Yeah.
But it's an abandoned church. It's an abandoned church. Yeah. And it's absolutely crazy there. I've got clips up on YouTube from that church. I have a video on Paraflix from that church. And I also have some clips up on TikTok from that church. The church is amazing. It really, really is. And every time I go there, I'm always fascinated by it.
So why do you feel that ghosts exist then?
Why do I feel that ghosts exist?
Yeah.
That's an interesting question. Well, I think if you're referring it to why they're maybe still here, um, I would have to say a lot of times it's unfinished business, and a
Mhm.
lot of times they've done something in their life before they died that kept them on this earth, and those are my beliefs.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own opinion, but I truly believe a lot of times it's unfinished business or something that they need to do still before they can leave.
Okay. Yeah. So like when you see a go like I don't know, I've never seen an apparition before, but I know that like my
Yeah.
experiences with things, EVPs, it's only something that's short. It's never like a full length conversation. Sometimes it might be like a sentence being whispered or something or parts of a sentence, but why do you feel like the clips that we get are so like vague or weak?
It's because they are. I don't think people understand or realize how much energy it takes for them to
Mhm.
actually say something. And saying a full length sentence you would probably never get. I've captured 3 or 4 words at a time,
Mhm.
but nothing like me or you, but it takes a lot of energy for them to do what they can do so we can see it or capture it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you something that was like a sidebar to that question and I forget it already.
Mm.
Um, so what are your take on then like demons? Like do you think that they're real?
Um, oh, that's a tough question. There's a lot of videos, if you watch videos on YouTube, and a lot of these big YouTubers seem to see a demon every other week.
Right.
And, that's ridiculous because it doesn't happen. And I will tell people now that obviously I told them earlier I'm a sensitive and I've been seeing things since I was a young kid. And in
Mhm.
my lifetime, I've only seen about 5. And one I was unsure about, but I'm pretty sure it was. So
Mhm.
it is very, very, very rare to catch something demonic. It's very rare.
So when you say you saw them, like you physically can see them,
Yes.
and what is it? Like can you give a description of what it comes across as to you?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So when I see a spirit or something negative or demonic, as people like to put, I'm not a big, I'm not big on the demonic thing. It's just because I think it's been overdone and overused.
Mhm.
So if I see something, usually what I see, if it's let's say a spirit or yeah, just a spirit, a regular spirit, nothing negative, nothing negative to it.
Mhm.
It's usually a black mass.
Mhm.
It's solid. Now, the thing with me is I can't see facial features,
Mhm.
but I could tell if it's a woman or a male.
Hmm.
Now, when it's something negative or demonic, when it's
Sorry.
something demonic, no, no,
How do
that's
you
okay.
tell if it's no? How do you tell if it, like does it have like a penis? I'm just joking.
What do you mean by that?
Like you said you could tell it's male or female. Now I
Oh
know you
no,
mean
no, it's
something. I know you mean something else, but I'm picturing like
okay.
the blob
Okay,
of a
so I
dick.
I can see what kind of show this is. No, I'm just
I'm
kidding.
just kidding.
So, but no, it's just more of a feeling,
Okay.
and I get the feeling that it's a male or female.
Okay.
When it's something demonic, which again, I'm going to reiterate this. It's very rare to catch something demonic. You can basically have a spirit that's really, really pissed off,
Hmm.
but not necessarily demonic.
Right.
And I think a lot of times people get that confused, to be
Yeah.
honest. So, anyways, more of a demonic entity, I would get it's a black, but it's translucent.
Hmm.
And what it does is it floats around very, very slowly.
Okay.
For me,
Yeah.
that's for me. Other people see other things,
Right.
but that's what I see. And unfortunately, again, I can't see facial features.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
on top of that, I can't hear them.
That's so
N-
interesting. So it's like you
Now,
can see like energy or.
yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
basically, at one time when I was younger, I could hear them sometimes, but not very often. So I think I've been working with some people on how to develop and bring um, my abilities out more, because basically my abilities right now are more suppressed
Yeah.
because of what I went through as a child and a teenager. And I had a family, or I had parents, or they were non-believers. They thought it
Right.
was all fake and bullshit. So that negativity is in the back of my head, and many mediums have told me that's one of the reasons why I'm unable to open up more and listen to them, and maybe even see their facial features.
Yeah.
So, but it's something I'm working on. It's a work in progress. I will let you know the third season of Huntophobia on Paraflix will be more concentrated on my abilities rather than the equipment. Because I had a medium contact me, what was it, about a week ago? And she just wanted to let me know. She goes, you know what? You don't realize the abilities you have. You've only touched the surface, because your abilities are really, really strong. But the problem on why you're not getting past it is because you're too worried about the equipment.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I actually thought the way she put it the first time, she was, you're too worried about material things. And I was thinking, okay, what the hell does that mean?
Right.
And then she explained herself. But yeah, that's what it means.
Interesting. Wow.
Hmm.
Kind of fascinated to see how you grow. I always feel like I'm so impatient. I would be like, come on already. But yeah.
Well, it's funny because I put up up a clip today from Burwash Prison. That's last Sunday was the second part was shown of the 3-part series, and I put up a clip today. You won't have to wait very long to hear that EVP.
Very scary. So
Yeah, it was.
how, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna just say, how do you gain access to investigate places like the prison, or like how does somebody gain access to go to like these great places?
Well, most of the time, I know within the States you have to book, and you probably have to pay, depending, and some are more than others. Like I know a couple of places, if you want to investigate for the night, it's like $1,000.
Whoa.
Yeah. So a lot of the places that I've gone to have usually been abandoned, or there was Burwash Prison where I had to get permission to get on, and which is not a big deal because he allows people to go on anyway. So
Okay.
yeah.
So it's not as hard as I think it would be. I'm like, it's probably so hard to find places to go to.
Well, the problem with Canada is the history in Canada is not as long as the history in the States and even the UK, and I'm getting to a point where um, around my area, I'm starting to run out of spots to investigate. So I'm going to have to probably start traveling across Canada to find more locations.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess that makes sense. Yeah. I never thought about that before.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite investigative tool and why?
Well, if any of your listeners have been watching any of my videos, you'll understand what my favorite piece of equipment is right now. It's called the SB7. And the EVPs that I'm capturing out of the SB7, they've been absolutely incredible. And I will tell you this. I've had a bunch of people tell me they've never, ever seen anybody catch as much as I do on the SB7.
That's
So
awesome.
they're all starting to call me the SB7 whisperer, which I don't mind, obviously. But the SB7 is I'm not sure if you're familiar with the SB7. Are you?
I'm really not. Like, I know like
Okay.
your basic devices and everything, but
Okay.
I'm not educated in that.
Okay. So the SB7 is like a little transistor radio. It's very tiny, And what it does, it has a sweep forward and a sweep back. So you can either you sweep through all the radio stations and all the frequencies,
Mhm.
because they say that spirits can manipulate frequency and
Mhm.
they're able to talk through this device. And that's basically what the SB7 is. Like, I could find a radio station and put a radio station on, but it just sweeps through all the radio stations.
So that the spirits can kind of grab and take what they want to use to communicate. Interesting.
Yes. Yes.
That's really
So,
cool. So
yeah.
you're never, so I guess you're never really hearing like the spirit's voice. It's just like grabbing a clip, do you think, that they can use? Or is it like they're bending the waves and using that to create their own voice?
Well, I think you can look at it a few different ways, but the one way that you mentioned is what you said, like manipulating or speaking through the frequencies and able to come through your device or whatever device you're
Mhm.
using. Everybody knows, everybody in the paranormal field knows that all spirits can manipulate any kind of device that you have.
Yeah. Yeah, I've caught some interesting recordings in my past of like a
Hmm.
man who sounded almost like a robot, and he wouldn't speak to me or anyone in the house. He would talk to the dog, and he would tell the dog to like keep barking and all this weird stuff, but he sounded like a robot. So it's just so weird because I know that it was like something talking to the dog, but it
Mm.
was manipulating whatever because it didn't sound like a human's voice.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. Sometimes truly, well, this happens for, I think most people in the paranormal investigation world know this, but your listeners might not.
Hmm.
Um, there's many times where, somebody could walk into a haunted location, and right away, what's ever there, spirit wise, might instantly connect with somebody and might not connect with somebody else.
Yeah.
So you can be in a place and then all of a sudden you hear a voice or you're being touched or something like that. And the other person doesn't get any of that. You kind of know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah.
So, what are your beliefs in the afterlife?
I kind of figured you were going to ask me that. It's funny because when you
Yeah.
told me the other day you're going to ask me a bunch of questions, right in my head I got she's going to ask me that question.
Yeah, I'm just
Um,
curious. It's not a
yeah.
non-judgmental zone or anything like that. Like your beliefs
No,
are your
no, no.
beliefs, but I'm
No, no,
just
no.
definitely curious.
Well, I've always believed that if you're a good person in life, you will go to the place that everybody wants to go. If you're a bad person in life, and that could be anything, you're going to be walking the earth the rest of your life, and or eternity, basically. So that's what I believe in. I believe some spirits stay here because they have unfinished business. The other way too, they might have committed suicide. That
Mm,
might be another reason why they stay here.
mm.
But I believe in what most people believe. You're good, you go upstairs. If you're not, you stay downstairs.
Yeah, yeah. Then do you
Yeah.
think that anyone who commits suicide doesn't cross over, or do you feel like they still have that choice, or do you feel like they're just like lost souls?
I For myself personally, I feel like they're lost souls
Yeah.
for sure. Um, I think when it comes to somebody who was very bad, and like let's say committed murder or did whatever they did,
Hmm.
I think if they redeem themselves before they die, I think there's a chance.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just feel like when somebody dies and they've been really, really bad and have led a horrible life in a
Yeah.
bad way, they stay here. That's my personal belief.
Yeah. I just like to hear it.
I think a couple of religions would probably disagree with me, but
Yeah, of course. But it's just, I'm just, it's interesting to hear somebody
yeah.
else's point of view. And especially since you're sensitive, sometimes I feel like that gives, I don't know, extra credibility to like what your afterlife vision might be and how things
Mm.
kind of line up with other people's. So, what's one spot you're dying to investigate?
Why are you saying it like that?
Little
No
fun.
pun intended, right? No pun intended, right? Yeah. Yeah, I got it. I got it when you were saying that. Well, there's a couple things here. There is how do I say? Okay, well, the first spot that is on my bucket list is Suicide Forest.
Ooh, in Japan.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely on my bucket list. And
and
I'm what's that?
I said that place is like terrifying to me.
Yes. Yeah, it is. And the good news about this, and this will be for your listeners, there might be a chance I might be going there.
Oh, so scary.
The only thing I'm concerned about would be actually walking in the forest and stumbling upon a dead body.
Yeah, that would be horrible. That's like definitely it's something that I mean it might happen. It's so sad because it does happen there so often, but like I know it's happened to people in the past that I've seen on like the news or whatever, but it's definitely it's a spooky place and it makes no sense. There is such a crazy, scary, haunting allure to it.
Like I've read up on it quite a bit, and one thing they do, which I think is again pretty creepy, once a month they have volunteers going through the woods looking for bodies.
Ugh.
Once a month.
Jeez.
So that's got to tell you that a lot of people go there. Now, one of the reasons why I want to go there is I want to find out what these people are being drawn to in these woods, because some people like fly 500 miles to go to this forest to die in this woods. Like, why? Yeah. It's a crazy thing. It's almost like the what is it? The Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like bewitched ground. I swear it's cursed. I would be terrified to go there because I'm not superstitious, maybe just a little stitious.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, no. It's I think it's just so scary.
Yeah. But, you know, I'm there's another thing that concerns me a little bit about the place. What I'm going to see.
Yeah.
Is it going to be really, really overwhelming that I will not be able to enter the forest?
It's just going to be a thick fucking wall of blobs.
Yeah. That's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of. But at the same time, it's kind of exciting too, right? So.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. Has anything ever followed you home?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
And how do you deal with that?
Okay, so again, I talked about this earlier. The abandoned church.
Yeah.
I brought something home from there, and it was a woman. And I will say this, I learned from a medium how to better protect myself, because I thought I was. And this medium basically said, no, you left something open, because if you didn't, they wouldn't have followed you home. So obviously you left something open. Anyways, it was a woman. I knew she was here. I would be on the laptop and the webcam would be on, maybe doing an interview, maybe doing a show or something. And I would see something walk behind me. And then I would see an orb in front of me a lot. And so I determined by doing a few things that it was a woman. I knew it was already a woman. And she was very sad, very, very sad. And so I ended up going back to the church and taking her back to the church. And I guess I put up a clip not too long ago, maybe about a week ago, up on TikTok and up on YouTube. And I was there with somebody else, and they asked a question, and it was kind of sad, actually. Jay asked a question going, do you want to leave this place? and we got a yes from a woman,
Mm.
and then we got a yes from a man.
Damn.
And it was really, really, and everybody that's heard it so far, they go, wow, he sounds so sad. And he is. And I don't know why they're there, but I did capture something else at that church, which sounds like to be something negative. I'm not going to say demonic. There's nothing demonic there, but something negative and very pissed off
Yeah.
because we left the room and I captured on the camera, please come back.
That's so sad.
Yeah, so we don't know if that was necessarily negative. It sounded negative, but
Yeah.
you can
See, I
never
guess I
tell
have
by
to
the
hear it.
sounds.
Yeah, I have to hear it
Y-
because I feel like that's like somebody doesn't want you to leave.
Yeah. Well, the one that said yes and it sounded very sad, that definitely sounded like a spirit that wants to be out of there. But the one
Mhm.
on the piano where it said please come back, that sounded little more on the negative side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like crazy. Do you ever
Yeah.
like assist in helping spirits cross over?
I have once. I did a store last year, and I helped. I didn't necessarily. We had two mediums virtually on the
Yeah.
phones on FaceTime, and they were doing the cleanse. I was just witnessing it
Yeah.
and doing what they needed me to do, like putting salt around the certain areas of the place,
Right.
and but no, I don't deal with that. It's not my specialty, and I would never ever try to cross somebody over because I don't know how to do it.
Right. You should be like, all right,
Yeah.
let's go, fella. Time to hit the road.
Yeah, it's definitely something like that. He goes, "Go towards the light,"
Right.
you know. But yeah, you can say that, but there's other things that you have to do in order to do that, right? But me
Right.
yelling, going, "Go towards the light, just do it." No, it doesn't kind of work that way, unfortunately.
Smart. So, what conditions do you feel like creates the perfect haunting?
mm. Well, short answer, a lot of history.
Hmm.
A lot of history, not necessarily negative history, but it could be any type of history. There's been, somebody's passed or somebody has died there, maybe in a violent way, or there could be many reasons. That's a hard question to answer because I
Yeah.
can walk down the street and see them.
Yeah. True. True.
So it's really hard to really determine what causes a haunting or why they're there, or are they trying to communicate, or are they pissed off, they don't want you there, or something along those lines. So it's really hard to answer that question.
Oh, I just remembered the other question I was going to ask you like
Okay.
25 minutes ago. Do you think that they're on a different dimension? Like, because sometimes we'll have like residual things occurring,
Yeah.
right? Um, do you feel like do you remember the movie The Others? Where
Never
it's like,
saw it.
well, basically, it's like a house full of ghosts. You don't know that they're ghosts, but you think they're being haunted. And it's
Okay.
actually like vice versa. They're actually the ghosts and they're haunting their own home. They didn't realize that they were dead. So I think that that could be a thing where they're kind of like so involved in their own world, they don't realize that they're dead and that they think that we're haunting them.
Interesting, because I have encountered a couple times where the question has been asked, "Do you know if you're dead?" And we've gotten a response from that. Sometimes they don't know. I don't know why that is.
Hmm.
And that's what, as a paranormal investigator, that we're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
What lies beyond death, and do they know they're dead? Do they know how they passed? Because there'll be a lot of times where I'll ask a question: How old were you when you died? But I've had mediums tell me in the past that they don't know how old they were when they died. Well, why not?
Right.
Why don't they know? Like, if they know how they died, wouldn't they know how old they were when they died? It's just so many unanswered questions, and yeah, I don't know.
it is fascinating because I feel like, so I listened to the story about how someone had walked into the Lincoln suite in the White House and actually had seen President Lincoln like putting on a pair of boots. And I'm like, why would a ghost who knows he's dead put on a pair of boots?
Mm,
Like,
yeah, that's interesting because there is a place that I go to that I've been a few times, and it's called Ghost Road. It's about a 40-minute drive from where I live, and uh, a guy died on a motorcycle. And the story goes that yes, he turned the corner too fast, hit a rock, then hit a fence, then died,
mhm.
or the opposite. They're not exactly sure, but what people see is not only hear him by this rock, but they also see what seems to be a motorcycle driving up the road and then disappearing.
Right. I was like, now
So
that
it's
it's so confusing.
yeah, and you know what? And that's, as paranormal investigators, like I said earlier, that's what we're trying to figure out. Yeah, we want to capture the evidence, but we want to know why they're there. Also, it
Yeah.
just doesn't. It's just not the question like, is anybody here? And you get a response, yes. Well, it doesn't end there, right?
Right. Like,
You got to
okay,
keep on at.
why?
Yeah. Okay, so we know you're here, but why are you here?
Right. Like the things I get confused about also was like, all right, say you were in prison and you died, right? Okay.
Hmm.
Now you're a spirit. Why are you still in the prison and not on a plane to Bora Bora? What is happening?
You know what? I wish I could answer that question, but I'm sure there's a reason. But I think because I've asked the same question too.
Right.
Because when people go to graveyards, why would they want to stay in the graveyard?
Right. But they do
What?
sometimes.
But they do sometimes. But most of the time, they go back to the place they know and love,
Right.
which could be a home, which could be anything. It could be a business. They could have a favorite baseball diamond they liked, or I don't know, whatever it could be. But they go back to that spot. So that's why I never understand why people investigate graveyards.
I don't
Because
know.
really they're not going to stay there. They want to go back to, because everybody knows, or most people, most paranormal investigators know that, yeah, they died, but they want to go back to the place they know and love,
Yeah.
not hang out in the graveyard. That's why I rarely do graveyard videos, because I just find they're senseless. And
I
a
feel
lot
like
of times,
yeah. I think
a
that if
lot,
it's attached
sorry.
to, I'm so sorry. I can't stop. My mouth just won't stop.
No, no, it's okay.
I feel like if there's a church tied to it, like it's more likely to have maybe something. But like if
Hmm.
it's just a graveyard and they exist here, I don't know if they exist there, but they just randomly exist here. Um, yeah, like it doesn't make any sense as to why that spot would be haunted.
Yeah, and but keeping in mind, when you're watching a lot of these videos, whether it's on TV or whether it's on YouTube and these popular YouTubers, most of the time they're faking it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I how many graveyard, like I could go to tons of graveyards around here. And in my 9 years, I think I've been to five.
Yeah.
And I just don't like, even the in my second season from YouTube, Patty, she said the same thing. Why are they going to stay in the graveyard? They're going to go to the place they know and love or want to be. They're not going to stay in the graveyard.
Yeah.
But again, the odd time they do, you know.
Yeah.
So, but
I
not
guess it
very
definitely is
often.
just,
It
it's very
doesn't.
confusing.
Yeah, I see all these graveyard videos, and like I tend to watch a lot of videos and stuff like that. And these people are going in this graveyards, and I don't know. For me personally, I just think they're useless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, so okay, I have a question now for you. Past lives, right? So,
past lives.
Past lives. They're only for those then. I think you kind of already answered this in
Yeah.
like how are they a thing? I just feel like there are so many ghosts that are like randomly around. Like how are they a thing if ghosts are like roaming around? Is it just because they like didn't move on?
Again, like I said earlier, I think a lot of times it's because they were bad. They were bad in life.
Yeah.
And I also think unfinished business. When it comes to suicides, I think that's another one. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many different reasons why they could still be here. I think that's a never ending topic. And a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on it. So
Yeah. How do you
I'm pretty,
deal with
you know what? I'm pretty simple. I don't get
yeah.
into all this, a lot of times you can listen to paranormal investigators the way they talk. And I'm not saying anything bad about them or anything, but sometimes some of the stuff that comes out of their mouth is like, Jesus, the hell are you talking about?
Right.
Like, I don't know. I'm very simple. I like going out and investigating. And if I discover or capture something, I like to show it, but I don't really get into the depths of why it's happening.
Yeah.
Um, why do you need to? And yeah, some people like it and stuff like that, and I understand that, but I'm pretty simple when it comes to my investigations.
Yeah. So, how do you deal with people who are skeptical of what you're bringing to the table as far as evidence?
Yeah, that's an interesting question because I have somebody on my team right now
Mm-hmm.
who's actually my editor who's skeptical. He's one of those guys, unless he sees it, he doesn't believe it.
Yeah.
Now, he's been editing a lot of my videos for Paraflix. I think I'm starting to change his mind,
Mm-hmm.
because we are capturing a lot of evidence. But when it comes to skeptics and stuff like that, listen, I'm not here to change anybody's mind. I know what I do. I know what I can capture. It's usually all on video or the voice recorder or the FLIR or, my SB7. It's all on camera.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go out of my way to try to change somebody's mind.
Right.
I usually let my evidence speak for itself. And if you believe it, great. If you don't, because some of the evidence that I've captured, and if you don't believe it, then by just hearing it or seeing it, then yeah, there's no changing that person.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I've like a random question that just popped into my head. Since you see blobs,
Well, it's not really blobs. I like it's more like
shadows,
yeah, it's a black mass, and
yeah,
it's like the body shape of a person.
yeah. Have
Yeah.
so do you think you'd ever be able to see a full bodied apparition, or is that different?
Well, that's usually that would consider most people would consider that an apparition. That what I see.
Yeah. I'm talking about like
Um,
the ghosty, like the like weird, the stereotypical kind. Yours are special because it's like a psychic, it is like a psychic
yeah.
power that not everybody has the ability to understand, right? But you're trying to understand it, you're learning it, it's different. But like there will be those weird one-offs where it's like, I looked up, he was there, and then he wasn't.
Mm. Yeah, that happens a lot, and usually when you see that, it could be several different things. It could be a black shadow. It could be white.
Mm-hmm.
It could be several different things. Like if I'm looking through my FLIR, which is a thermal detection or a thermal camera, I could see sometimes an apparition through there. But then that allows other people to see it too. Like I said earlier, I don't see them all the time, and I don't know why I see them all the time. It's almost like a light switch.
Yeah.
The light switch goes on, then I see them. If that doesn't go on, then I don't see them, and I
Interesting.
don't know why that is. For example, Burwash Prison, in the first part, I came down. I was in the boiler room downstairs in the basement, and I walked in a room. I saw something right away,
Mm.
right away, And then I turned on my SB7 and we got contact through the SB7. This person was actually, Michael, who I was with, asked this question. He said, "What do you do while you're here?" And it said, "Sit alone," which is sad.
Yeah.
I thought that was sad.
Yeah.
He's sitting down in the boiler room in a room by himself. And or that's what he said over the SB7. But yeah.
He needs to board a plane.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. Some might. You just never know. Yeah.
That would be me. Yeah. I have my little ghost flip-flops on, my ghost sun hat. So what are your take on aliens and cryptids? Like, have you ever seen one? Do you have any encounters with them?
UFO I've had an encounter with when I was about 7 years old.
Yeah.
It was outside my bedroom. Oh. So I do believe and I think most people in this world all believe UFOs exist.
Absolutely.
We're not the only people in this, I guess, atmosphere, I guess you can say, would that make sense? Yeah. We're not the only planet that has life on it, and I truly believe that. Yeah. Cryptics, I'm on the fence about cryptics, to be honest. I've seen enough evidence to be on one side, but then I've heard a lot of rebuttals for the other side. So I'm definitely on the fence. Is there a Bigfoot? We've been shown a lot of pictures, but one thing I've never been able to figure out, even in today's abilities and cameras and all those wonderful things, that when somebody still takes a video, it still looks like it's from 1970.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, hunting is such a sport these days. Like, how one person hasn't tried to shoot down a Bigfoot.
Yeah. So I'm on the fence about cryptics, but again, it's one of those things where I've seen a lot, but not necessarily it's been factual or it's true to what they're saying. I don't know. Cryptics I'm on the fence about. UFOs I'm definitely not, because I've seen one. So
yeah, I think I've seen one before.
I think everybody has seen one.
Yeah, one of my friends lives out in Arizona, and I swear he sees them all the time.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool, actually. Yeah. But I think it's happening a lot more, and this might be a little bit far-fetched, but I think the government knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing them a lot more frequently, because, like a lot of other people, think something is coming.
Yeah.
Something is definitely coming. And when we might not even be around when it happens, but something is definitely coming, because they're being seen more, they're being heard more. There's a lot more sightings. So there's something definitely coming, and that might sound crazy, but I also chase ghosts. So
yeah, I get it though. So where can our friends find you on social media?
Well, there's several places. One, Huntophobia, which is spelled. You're gonna put this up on. In the description. Okay. So people will see that. So I'm on YouTube. I'm Facebook. Facebook. I got 2 pages. I got Huntophobia as a private page, and Huntophobia and Friends as a public page. So people can come over and join and post what they want to post within the topic room, of course. I don't want to see a guitar being sold or something like that up there. So, Facebook, and then Instagram, Huntophobia, and Twitter, Huntophobia, and TikTok, Huntophobia, which is HUNT_A_phobia. And last but not least, which I should have mentioned first, is Parapost Network, which you can download through Google Play Store or iOS.
Yes, download it and let's be friends.
It's awesome. You know what? we're right now, we are on pace. And if you want people to come and see your videos and watch your videos wherever you place them, come to our site, come to Parapost, because I'm telling you, we're about to hit 12,000 views a month.
Awesome. Congrats.
So, yeah. So, and this has literally only been around for about 3 months.
Nice.
And we're growing that quickly. So if you have a video, you have a story, whether it's supernatural, paranormal, cryptics, whatever, come and post it over on Parapost Network, because it's going to be seen.
Definitely.
It's going to be seen. And I see a lot of people on Parapost posting, and then people going over and subbing to their channel. And I'm seeing that a lot more today. And if you want to grow people, your YouTube, I mean, then go over to Parapost Network, because you will grow.
Cool beans. Well, thank you so much for your time, Bryan. It has been super educational, super fascinating, and super spooky.
I'm not sure about super spooky, but yeah, it was good. I really appreciate you having me on today, and that was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was nice meeting you.
It was so nice to meet you. Thanks again, and have a great night, and I'll catch up with you soon.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I sure did. I learned a heck of a lot. Can't wait for next week. It's a surprise. It involves dogs and yoga. Talk to you then. Ciao, baby. Welcome.